Sarah again. We're gonna walk through bridge sampling in case you arrive at a site and you feel that you cannot safely access the stream by walking, which is perfectly fine. So you're given a bucket and a rope in your sampling kit for this very reason, in case this happens. And all I'm gonna do is you tie your rope any way you want to. I don't know the most knots, maybe you do. Just make sure it's secure to your bucket, and we're gonna go ahead, lean over the side and lower my bucket into the stream. This bridge is pretty tall. Doesn't necessarily mean your bridge will be this tall. And then we wanna fill up our bucket. Now, obviously plastic likes to float in water, so it might take you a minute, kind of like maneuvering the bucket around to get a full bucket of water. It looks like we've got a pretty full bucket. I like the way that looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and carefully pull my bucket up. Ideally, we want to get enough water in the bucket to only sample once, right? The more we disturb the bottom of the stream, the less accurate our samples will be. So this again looks pretty good. I think we'll have enough water. So just something around there. I'm gonna take my first big bottle and I'm going to carefully pour. It's a little tricky to pour. Just a little bit in here so I can give it a good rinse. I'm gonna put the bottle on. Just invert it a few times. Make sure the whole inside of the bottle has been rinsed by my sample. I'm gonna dump that out. And now we can fill this one up for real. So again, it's a little tricky to pour, but nothing crazy. We just want to be careful again because we want to try to avoid sampling the stream again. So try not to spill too much water, but it is going to happen a little bit. All right, so I filled up my first bottle. That one's good to go. Now I'm going to take my second bottle and do the exact same thing. So I took off the lid. I'm just going to pour a little bit in. I'm gonna put the lid back on, invert it a few times, shake that water all up, go ahead and dump it out, and now this time I'll fill this bottle up all the way. And there we go, we still have a little bit of water left over, which is perfect. And that's it, we're good to go. We have our 2 full bottles. All right, this is another example of a type of stream that you might come across. That you can tell the stream is pretty turbid, so it's hard to see through. We're not really sure how deep it is. It's also really low flowing. So I'm gonna take, or make the decision to take a sample from the bank. So I'm not actually going to enter this stream. Again, I don't know how deep it is, so that's 1 for our safety. And 2, because the flow is so low, I know that if I enter the stream, I'm gonna stir up the sediment at the bottom, which could actually make my water samples inaccurate. So we wanna make sure, again, if we choose to enter a stream, that there's some flow, so when we walk in and stir up that dirt at the bottom, it will flow behind us, and that's not actually what we're sampling. But again, and for this stream, I can't guarantee that, so I'm gonna take a sample from the side. So, I have my bottle. I'm gonna go ahead, fill it in just from the side as far as you can reach. And I'm going to dump it out somewhere else, because again, when I dump it out, I'm gonna stir up that sediment. So we wanna make sure that we're not rinsing and dumping and then sampling again in the same place. So I rinsed that bottle once. We're just gonna stick this all the way in there. Make sure we can get as full as we can. And I'm gonna cap that. So we just wanna make sure we rinse each bottle. Now I'm gonna take my second bottle again, stick it in the water as far out as my arm will reach. And then I'm gonna dump it off to the side. Because again, we don't want to sample that sediment that I had just stirred up. All right, and this time will be for our actual sample. Go ahead and cap it. And that's it.